Welcome back to Gem and Cozy. I decided to bring you all along for some footage of me prepping for my launch, which happened on Friday. I'm actually using one of the notepads that I released, which says fresh out of ducks on it, and I thought it would be perfect for grocery lists. I always like to write down everything that's launching so that I don't forget to update the file for my website from draft to active for the listing. And I like to make sure I include everything in my email marketing because sometimes I do forget to include something. This launch was a little bit bigger than usual, so I had a lot of notepads, sticky note stickers, as well as June's Stationery Club releasing early for the month. But I have always preferred combining a few items for launch rather than launching small bits of everything sporadically, which is how I used to do it, but it just seems more organized to wait and release a few products together. When a lot of products come in at once, quality checking takes the longest and it's the most draining process for me, so I try my best to break it up into small chunks. These My Give a Ducks Are on Vacation sticky notes were the last to come in, so that was the last little bit of quality checking that I needed to do before taking product photos. The really nice thing is I take all my product photos from my phone, and I shared it with you all in the last video for a little bit. And then I can actually update all of the listings on my Shopify app, which is on my phone. So I use the desktop and my phone in combination to upload all my new products. I do my best to make marketing as easy and as natural as possible. So whenever I'm unboxing new products, especially things that I'm going to be launching soon, I record the process and I turn those videos into marketing videos for my social media. I usually post these videos throughout the week prior to the launch. And then I make one final launch video sharing all my new products and I post it the day of the launch. Here is everything new at Gem and Cozy. A new punny sticky note is joining the Post-it note series with the Coast-it note. I have the 3x3 sticky note and a 4x6 notepad. The colors are so dreamy. I also designed 2 new bookmarks, including the whale and the forest fairy ghosties. I made my very first grocery list with the fresh out of ducks, and they're at a discounted price because they printed a tad darker than I expected. My Give a Ducks Are on Vacation and Go Fly a Kite are 2 new waterproof stickers that are joining the family. And you can join this month's Stationery Club if you prefer it as a discounted bundle. My Daily Goals and You Are Capable of So Much notepads are also back in stock. And I have some new notepads, including the My Give a Ducks Are on Vacation sticky note and My Ducks Aren't Quite in a Row notepad. And I finally finished the Emotional Support Iced Tea sticker, and I had so much fun adding the lemon wedges in the background. My Cake Bunny as well as the You're So Golden sticker are back in stock. Gem and Cozy recently passed 10,000 sales, which is incredible, so every order in June is also going to get a Blueberry Muffin freebie sticker. We recently bought a bunch of chicken and we never know what to do when we buy that much, but we buy chicken for my dog, so we had extra chicken breast and decided to make this recipe that my boyfriend found. Since we already had a lot of chicken breast, we found a recipe that would pair well with it.
It feels like one of those Play-Doh toys. It's good. Is eventually all of this going in?
Yeah, we have to take.
Here goes. I don't know, it looks really good still. It looks like the soup that Brock makes on Pokemon. Good morning, everyone. I woke up early with my dog. She's been waking up kind of early lately. Sometimes it works in my benefit though, because I feel like the day gets started and it sort of just pushes me forward. So we walked this morning and I gave her breakfast, and then she's not really ready to get up. So she went back to sleep, which is such a luxury that dogs have. I wish I could just go back to sleep really easily, because I'm one of those people, once I wake up, it's hard for me to go back to sleep. And then if I do, it takes me a while, and then I end up waking up at like the middle of the afternoon, which is awful. So that doesn't really work well for me. I do better with just staying awake and then trying to sleep earlier. But then I have to deal with like fatigue and tension headaches and stuff. So overall, sleep interruptions are not good for me. I thought it would be nice to pack some orders and chat with you all because it's been a little while and I really need to get a camera or a second phone that's designated for content creation. I've probably been saying that for a while. I just haven't had the time to research it, and it's not at the very top of my priority list, so it hasn't happened. But that would make it a lot easier because I tend to record, 10 to 15 minutes at a time, and then my phone's like, whoa, I don't have enough memory for you, which is totally reasonable. So I'm trying to figure that out little by little. I'm packing Rebecca's order, and they actually ordered twice, so I'm combining their orders for them, which I don't always catch, but when I do, it's nice because everything gets there sooner. It saves a little bit on the shipping price for me as well, because most people tend to order over $40 to get the free shipping. So Rebecca didn't pay any shipping on these orders, so it helps me out too. I just launched a bunch of new notepads and sticky notes, including the Coast It series, which is super pretty. They got the grade B version of the sticky note to match, and some other sticky notes. I'm keeping the packaging for the orders separate. Makes it a little easier. Thanks so much to Rebecca. This is usually what the floor right below my table looks like, by the way. I have all my packages going into a tote bag, and then all of the peels from the backing of sticker labels go in here, so it always gets all curly and funky. I just realized that I did not eat anything because I situated Safi and then just came into my office, which is kind of a bad habit that I have. So I'm gonna go and make some matcha oat milk. We're gonna add some protein today because I have a long day ahead of me. So come with me. My boyfriend got me a frother and it works so well. So the top gets whipped even if I have protein powder in it, which usually makes it a lot thicker. So it is pretty good. I just ate too much froth at once and it's all in my throat. I don't really like eating breakfast, so I feel like drinking like some kind of matcha oat milk is kind of my way of getting some kind of calorie intake in the morning. And I used to hate having to force myself to eat in the morning when I went to school because I knew I didn't have any other time to like eat or snack. And I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore because I'm not really hungry until like 11 or 12. And I used to hate having to force myself to eat. I remember in grad school, I worked as a resident assistant, an RA. And if you're not in the US, RAs basically are hired through the school to help sort of manage and check in on students that are living either in the dorms or in school-based like residencies. So I was in grad school, so I oversaw an off-campus undergrad and grad apartment style building basically, and it was divided into 3 floors. And they would give you some kind of meal plan or credit as part of the job. So you weren't being paid actual like monetary income, but they would cover your housing and they would give you some sort of meal plan. And I noticed that if you were on campus with students, what they would do is they would give you an unlimited meal plan, which is amazing because that means that you can just swipe a card and get into any of the cafeterias as many times as you want through the entire semester. But since I was off campus, they gave us a certain amount that was limited. So once I ran out that semester, I would be done. And they also gave us a certain amount of money that we could use at any of the restaurants that were on campus. It worked out really well because I paced myself to use basically my entire, like all my credits. And there was this Einstein bagel mixed with some kind of acai bowl cafe type of restaurant that was right outside of the building that all of my grad school classes took place in. So I would get an acai bowl from there before class would start and just eat it during my first class. And that worked out so well because I would eat about half of it before the class would start, and then I would be hungry for the second half, like maybe 30 minutes or 45 minutes into the class. I think my classes started at 9, so it wasn't too early, but that was so much better. And I haven't thought of that memory in a really long time, so it's interesting it popped up just now. I sort of wish that I had the, I guess, foresight to think about, I should have like filmed aspects of my life back then. How interesting that would have been to be able to look back on it. And sort of see what my life was like back then. I was in California, so the weather was so nice, and I just felt like I was in this like surreal world that didn't actually exist coming from Georgia. So I took out a bunch of loans and just committed to it, thinking this is going to be a great opportunity. The program was also like very competitive, and I was so excited to have even gotten in. So thinking back on it makes me think about how like young I was. It's just crazy because it doesn't feel like that long ago, but I graduated in 2017, so it's already been such a long time. And a part of me really misses it because I don't think you realize until like you're old enough that being a student is so nice because you don't have to think about as many adult-ish things. Granted that some people can be students in a different walk of life and have more responsibilities, especially for people who decide to go back to school. But when I went, I basically just packed up my stuff and flew into a different state and then went to school there for 2 years on loans. So the loans aren't so fun, but I had that experience of getting to sort of dorm off campus, have an apartment, hang out with friends on the weekends. It was very liberating, and I feel like I was the least stressed in my life when I think back on it. Like, the weather was amazing. I was in Southern California, so I really missed that. And I think that's why, like, lately I've just been kind of craving wanting to go to the beach. It's a good reminder to enjoy where you are in your life and to really try to appreciate that, because down the line you'll probably be reminiscent about that period of your life, even if you might have not thought it was, that great in the moment. So today's going to be a pretty split up, kind of chaotic day. I have to take my car in for transmission oil changes. My car is kind of getting to that age where a bunch of things need to be fixed. So I finally scheduled that, but it's kind of in the middle of my day, and I wanted to pack as much as I can before heading out, since it sort of eats up that whole afternoon, and then by the time you get home, you don't really have that much time to go back into work zone, because then you have to prep for dinner. So I was like, okay, let me try to get some work in this morning. Go to the post. I have to pick up a package there, so I need to go during their open hours anyway. So I'm gonna pack a little bit more, go to the post, and I'll probably bring my iPad to my appointment so that I have something to do while I'm waiting.
And Moore kicked Cassian out of his seat to make space for Saint Helion. And the High Lord of Day kept glancing at her living room. And Helion's deep murmur and Moore's sultry laugh lit it in for sense. A wry smile. Cassian is going to have to decide some things too. Are you all right? It wasn't easy. He amended and squeezed him a little tighter.